Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be sharing with you guys a first impressions, swatches, all of that on the brand new Pat McGrath. This is specifically called the Moonlit Seduction eyeshadow palette. This retails for $125. I purchased mine from Pat McGrath's site. I want to say it should be available on Sephora sometime soon. Love the packaging. So it's what I'm wearing on my eyes today. We went pretty wild. I tried to use as much shades as I could to create something a bit different, something a bit more intense, something that I typically don't do. Here is what the palette looks like. You get 10 shades in total. 3 of the shades are matte finishes. Then we have 2 shades that are just like regular traditional metallics, not ultra intense. We also get 3 more like wet looking metallic type of shades, and then 2 of the shades are shade shifting shadows, which means they're more like duochrome. I actually had a lot of fun creating this eye look today. So let's get started and let's use the brand new Moonlit Seduction palette by Pat McGrath. Hello you guys.
Hello.
Let's start with the look. Obsessed with her boxes, by the way. I love that it comes in such a like bougie package. I kind of wish the actual palette had some form of her design on it, but I also kind of like the sleek black look as well. I'm going to start off with the Too Faced Hangover RX Pillow Balm in Mango Kiss. I purchased this at TJ Maxx for $7 when typically it's like $28. I shared it with you guys in my recent TJ Maxx haul. Obsessed with these. It's so comfortable and it makes your lips look legit fantastic. So I'm obsessed with these. All of them are pretty good. I'm going to pack the shade on a Jaclyn Hill JH30 brush. And with this one in the crease area, I'm going to blow it out like I typically do with my first transition shade. Oh, it's a really pretty color. It's like brown with a slight eggplant undertone to it. I'm going to take a little bit more of that and go a bit higher here in the crease. So it's really like up there in my brow bone so it could look as blown out as possible. The next shade I'm going to go in with is Plum Cabaret, and this is like a lighter purple tone color, not too deep. I think it would actually pair really nice with the same shade, with the previous shade I used. I'm using it on the BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy brush, the A503 brush. I'm really just going to kind of deepen up the crease part with this, and I really want to add a little bit more of like a purple vibe to this. So I'm just building it up, and I think that both of the colors, yeah, they do pair really well together. I like the intensity that I'm getting with this. Next, I'm gonna go in with Extreme Nocturne. This is like a deep gray type of color. I'm actually on the phone now with the hair wig place. So she called, but I missed it, so she put me on hold. Hi, I just missed a call from you guys. Liora. Yeah, you guys told me to call before to see if it's going to be ready tomorrow. I have an appointment at 1.
Okay, let me transfer you over to the repair department. Give me 1 moment, please.
Okay, thanks so much. So I'm going to go in with the same brush, the BK Beauty A503. Take a little bit of that, and again, also in the crease area. And then work my way, mainly on the outer part of the eye to intensify a bit more. This is going to be an ultra dramatic look. Take a little bit more. I'm going to dab it onto the towel that I have here. And then just blend. I'm going to go back in with Rosewood Romantique to blend out the edges. You can see more of the purple. I feel like we lost a little bit of that. Pretty dramatic, but you guys know I love it like this. It's either go big or go home with me. So I'm gonna take a small brush here. This is the JH30, the Morphe and Jaclyn brush, and I want to do the lower lash line. I'm gonna take the shade Extreme Nocturne, which is that grayish type of color, focusing it on the outer part and then swiping it inward. Ugh. That was actually the first time I poked my eye in a very long time. And then we're gonna go back in with another layer. For me, I typically love to kind of situate the color down, and then once I'm ready to blend, I'll blend. And with Pat McGrath's shadows, I feel like you really could do that because like they set, but you can still blend it after like a few seconds of applying. The wig is ready for pickup. I cannot believe it because it's been like a few weeks of like going back and forth, and now it's like finally here. I'm so thrilled. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the next shade I want to go in with is possibly with Platinum Dusk, which is this silver tone shade. So there's no shift to that one. Or I'm thinking of going in with the shade VR Sextasy. Solid name for that one. So that one does have like a little bit of like a shift to it. And then like I said, the previous one is pretty much just a silver. I do kind of like the Sextasy shade a little bit more. It's a drop more piecey, just because it has that shift and it's a very unique color. The silver, I know I have a lot of my collection, so it wouldn't be like a unique look necessarily. So I'm gonna go in with the VRX Sextasy shade on my finger. I'm gonna apply this on, I'm sorry, what? This looks absolutely gorgeous. How stunning. I'm just gonna dot it on the first 3/4 of the eye. So pretty, and honestly I always say this, but with Pat McGrath's metallics, duochromes, shimmers, I want to say there really is nothing that compares. Maybe some products from indie brands, which I haven't tried much like from them, but Pat McGrath's formula is really like top notch. I'm gonna take a little bit more and I'm gonna put it really up there in the crease area so it could kind of look very like galaxy-esque, multi-dimensional, yum, life. I'm also gonna go in with this shade right over here, which is called the Astral Lilac Aura shade. A little bit on my finger. It's also more of like a piecier type of shade. It's a white with a lilac undertone. With this, I'm gonna put it here. I'm gonna connect it from here to the brow bone. I'm also gonna drag the color here a bit so it kind of looks like it's just part of the look. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the Sextasy shade, the VR Sextasy shade, and put it over here. Okay, that was a bit much. Yeah, we kind of killed it. I didn't apply too well. Actually, I'm kind of feeling the look. I feel like it's extremely different. It's very, very dramatic. Not a look that I would typically do. And I feel like it's more on the wilder side, I would say, compared to my style of eyeshadows in general. But I kind of made a mistake of putting that shade in the inner corner. But then I just kind of built it up a bit. And I kind of like how it looks. Again, just different. So I'm gonna apply liner, mascara, and lashes, and I'll be back in a sec. It'll for sure tie in the look, and I think I'll be right. I'm happy with it now, but I think I'll be even happier. Is the final look. I actually am personally fully in love. I know it's not gonna be every single person's style, but I love Pat McGrath's palettes especially, because I feel like they're great palettes to be so creative with. Like, I don't do such looks with other palettes that I have, you know, and with these, like, I do go crazy. After using this for the first time today, I will say I love the fact that there are 3 mattes included. You guys know I love mentioning that, because if you're doing like mattes in the crease and then metallics on the lids, you can do that with this. But if you're just wanting to go in with glitters, you can do that with that. If you just want to go in with mattes, you can do that with this as well. I don't necessarily love when palettes just have mattes or just have metallics. It's like, you know, I like having a little bit of a mixture. Even though it's not an even amount of each, I still think that the finishes are great in here. Like, it's a nice amount of each. With this one, I will say there isn't a lot of like that loose glitter formula. You just have a lot of like metallics in here and some satins and mattes. The only like super loose, piecey, super shiny wet shade is the one I used on my lids. And then we have this one also, which also has a similar formula, but it's not as exaggerated. Everything else pretty much is your traditional metallic shade from Pat McGrath. Personally, I would have loved a few more shadows in this formula where it's a duochrome. It's super intense. It looks silky and wet and very sleek on the eye. But you don't have that a lot with this one. I want to say with the Utopian Dream palette, you do get a little bit more in there when it comes to like glitters. You can kind of mix and match those. With this, you could do the same, but you don't have that many options. I will also say, compared to other palettes, this somewhat does fall under the category of more neutral, even though, again, you have the shifting shade over here. Pretty much everything else, you could see here, if you cover that up, it's like a neutral, more cooler tone palette actually. So if you're wanting to try out maybe a Pat McGrath palette, but you still wanted to stay on that neutral route with something extra, this might be a nice one, because I feel like the shades are very like everyday appropriate, and you can kind of spice things up with a few different finishes in here if you want to take it to the next level with your look. So I would say definitely very on par with her line. I love the formula. The mattes are so silky, so smooth, and they're pigmented, but they're not insanely pigmented where it's like you're like, whoa, oh my gosh. Like the Melt Cosmetics shadows, with those are like next level for me. These, I feel like they're just like perfectly pigmented, and then with the metallics, like I feel like you can go really wild with them, and they're just so much fun to use. The glitters, all of that. I'm definitely gonna play around with this a little bit more, maybe mix and match with the other palettes that I have from her, but I really like it so far. I think it's different, I think it's unique, and I just feel like Mcgrath never really disappoints, if you know what I'm saying. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments down below. Keep me posted, and I will see you all in my next video.